हेलो एंड वेलकम बैक। पहले तो एक चीज़ कि इन दिनों कुछ हम वीडियोस कम कर पा रहे हैं, कुछ चीज़ें हम प्रॉपर्ली नहीं अभी आपके पास ला पा रहे हैं। उसके लिए थोड़ा-सा हमारा बैकएंड में कुछ-कुछ चीज़ें चल रही हैं एंड एज़ बजट इज़ अप्रोचिंग वी आर आल्सो वर्किंग अपॉन दैट। तो उसके लिए सॉरी एंड आल्सो वन थिंग दैट सून यू विल सी मोर ऑफ द वीडियोस एंड मोर ऑफ द रिसर्च दैट वी डू कमिंग बैक टू द चैनल। तो ये तो हो गई वो बात। और दूसरी बात जिसके लिए आप और हम यहाँ पे आए हैं, बहुत ही वॉलेटाइल वीक रहा और एक ट्रेडिंग सेशन तो इतना क्रेजी हो गया कि निफ्टी ने अराउंड 900 पॉइंट्स का मूवमेंट दे दिया। सब होकस पोकस हो गया, कुछ समझ में नहीं आया। और जब हम कंफ्यूज्ड होते हैं और जब हमको कुछ नहीं समझ में आता है, और ये बहुत फ्रीक्वेंट हो रहा है लुकिंग एट द वे द मार्केट्स आर बिहेविंग, तो हम एक ही काम करते हैं। हम जाते हैं एक के पास और उनसे समझते हैं कि क्या है सिचुएशन और आगे क्या हो सकता है। तो चलिए, विदाउट वेस्टिंग मच ऑफ टाइम, लेट्स ब्रिंग हिम इन। गुड मॉर्निंग।
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
हाफ वे थ्रू मैडनेस। आप बताइए।
Boss, everything is fine. I think talking about markets this week, like you said in the beginning, volatility. मैंने आपको लास्ट वीक मैं इनफैक्ट लास्ट कुछ वीक से बोल रहा हूँ कि वॉलेटिलिटी फ्लेवर ऑफ द सीजन है, कुछ टाइम तक चलेगा ऐसा. A lot of things are happening globally. US new president, their policies towards emerging markets. It will, uh, if not completely change, it will alter to a great extent, alter the dynamics uh, geopolitically and economically. So having said that, वो सारे अच्छा इंडियन बजट है, वो सारे उठा पटक के उसमें आपको मार्केट में वॉलेटिलिटी इज वन थिंग दैट दैट यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू सरपास. आप वॉलेटिलिटी तो फेस करनी ही करनी है, मतलब उसका कुछ नहीं किया जा सकता है. बट यस, अगर आप इस वीक का मार्केट देखें, आई फील there was a ray of hope in this week of market. Why I tell you is that, like I've been talking about this, 4 to 6 week period for a long time, that every week we are doing a lower low. But this week, somewhere we did a higher high. Uh, Somewhere in the middle of the week, we did a higher high, which gave me some sort of kind of confidence that बजट भी आ रही है. मे बी अ प्री बजट, ये जो 6 वीक का स्ट्रीक है, 5 वीक का स्ट्रीक है नीचे जाने का बाजार का, हो सकता है कि प्री बजट या बजट के एक्सपेक्टेशन पे जरा सा पुल बैक आए और वो तोड़ दे, हो सकता है. बट इफ यू रिमेंबर अर्लियर इन द वीक आई ऑल्सो स्पोक विथ यू दैट अगर 23,200 मेंटेन करता है, so it should sustain, and it should trade in a narrow range above it.
राइट।
Yeah, but what has happened is that so much volatility happened on the day Donald Trump took over. If you remember, 400 plus का निफ्टी था जो 23,000 तोड़ दिया था intraday. Okay, that was again the weekly low. I think 220985 or something like that. That was the weekly low. It was far lower than the low we have seen in the last 4 weeks. Okay, बट ऑफ कोर्स लाइक इट वाज एन एनोमैलिटी. मैं पहले भी बोल रहा हूँ कि कोई ड्रास्टिक मूवमेंट आता है वो सस्टेन नहीं करेगा, मार्केट में शॉर्ट रेंज में रहेगा. तो आई वाज प्रीटी कॉन्फिडेंट कि वहां से बाउंस बैक हो जाएगा, जो कि हुआ भी. And I think 23,200 is not a point where you and me are looking. I think a lot more people, a majority of the traders and investors, are
राइट।
looking at 23,200 as a very, very kind of a flex point. अगर आप बोल सकते हैं उसको फ्लेक्स पॉइंट, कि इसके बियॉन्ड एक अलग सिनेरियो हो जाता है, एक अलग होप बन जाती है मार्केट की सस्टेन करने की. बट समहाउ last week it gave a positive sign. Just about 23,205 ki closing thi last week. And this week till all the way till Friday, when we were trading above 23,200, I was little hopeful that if we have two consecutive weeks above 23,200, maybe I'll give you some good news, some news that you would like to hear, because like I said, pre budget भी है, टेक्निकली थोड़ी स्ट्रेंथ भी दिखाई है मार्केट ने, तो हो सकता है कि बुल्स वापस फॉर्म में आ जाए.
Right.
But what happened in the last hour of trade was, something that changed the whole narrative of what I think uh, is going to happen in the coming week. So we'll come back to coming week, but I would like to know from you uh, this time that what were the results? What were the major results? I believe uh, HDFC Bank was one.
Right. So, when we look into the results, we have a set of mixed bag numbers coming in. Like if you see HPCL, BPCL, the numbers were relatively better. HDFC Bank numbers actually gave us some hope that the Bank Nifty might get some support. The way HDFC behaved after making a low of 1625, it reversed, and there was a decent upside, but then it fizzled out later on. Tata Technologies was a disappointment. HUL, though the numbers at the very face of it were looking okay, but when we dig down into them, we could actually see some weakness which was coming in from the rural demand as well. Indigo again gave a very decent numbers. Zomato was an accident because lately everybody was talking about the fintech companies and the way they are growing up and the way Zomato and Blinkit coming together and doing good business. But the kind of cash burning that they have done, it was there evident. Though they have approached their number of stores quite early, but for that the kind of cash burning they have done was quite not. The markets were not happy. So they were mixed numbers and. Up till now, the kind of coverage that we have seen, results, we can see good results. We can see results as per the expectations, and there are fewer accidents. So, if we read into the result season that we're going through, not that I'm very disappointed, but yes, there are some accidents which, like Zomato, which we are not expecting, or HUL with the slowing rural demand. But otherwise, at the very face of it, they were decent numbers to look at.
Taken over a brand called Minimalist. They have
Right.
announced it. This thing. It's a very new, trendy, urban brand. So I think their focus into urban. This thing is urban life and urban customers is increasing. That is one thing for sure. Secondly, we spoke about you spoke about Zomato. uh, I would like to add, even Paytm's number was a negative shock, as a matter of fact. And Zomato's number, of course, after posting profits in the last few quarters, Zomato has not given very satisfactory results. But like you said, there is a lot of cash burn in this company, and in all such businesses which are now at the tech businesses which are developing stage, we'll see the same thing in Swiggy. I'm quite sure about it. See, the thing is that एक तो कैश बर्न बहुत ज़्यादा है. दूसरा ये है कि because they are listed companies, the stock gets punished. The stock market does not value these companies the same way as a private equity investor, obviously. So so a company posting a cash burn or a negative cash flow or a negative profit or a loss will tend to get hammered in the stock markets. As far as HUL's rural demand is concerned, I believe it has been out in the news for a while now, rural demand being a concern. And somehow HUL ने पहले अनाउंस करके 8-9% की पहले बीटिंग लेके ये फॉल को काफी हद तक कुशन कर दिया है. So there was not a very big shock negative shock value in the results. And going forward, I am hopeful of one thing, because so much of slowdown is propagated in the news, that somehow the analyst estimates have also corrected themselves, and after
Right.
these results they will tend to revise their estimates and correct them. सो जो शॉक वैल्यू है वो आने वाले क्वार्टर्स में कम होती जाएगी, क्योंकि आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशन ही कम है.
Hmm.
When we were going up, growing at a very fast pace, going, तो आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशन उस हिसाब से लॉफ्टी थी.
Right.
एंड तब मार्केट में अगर कंपनी परफॉर्म नहीं कर रही है तो शेयर पे
Hmm.
असर पड़ता था, क्योंकि आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशन लॉफ्टी है एंड वी आर नॉट एबल टू रीच दैट. But
Right.
now, because things are slowing down, so the
Hmm.
expectation will also adjust itself. After having 2 3 bad quarters,
Hmm.
suddenly you will start seeing that things are going as per expectation, because the expectations have adjusted themselves. That is the point wherein I think that market में stability आ जाएगी, कि we
Exactly.
are, हाँ, प्रीमियम कब आएगा उसके बाद देखा जाएगा.
पहले
But
स्टेबिलिटी तो आए.
पहले स्टेबिलिटी तो आए. That is the main thing. But yes, okay, let's talk about the next week.
Hmm.
Like I said, the last hour of trade on Friday, it changed the entire narrative of my thought. So I am nothing but compelled to tell you that the similar scenario you know, will pertain in the coming week. Uh,
Okay.
I feel maybe towards the budget, I still feel that we might see some sort of a pullback. Uh, but it the start of the week, which is
Hmm.
Monday, and at
Hmm.
least till Monday to Wednesday or Thursday, I'm not seeing a major upside. I'm not seeing, because ये जो टेक्निकली इतने लो लेवल पे मार्केट ने क्लोज किया है,
Hmm.
कि यू नो if everybody is seeing 23,200 as a point to sustain, we are still all, you know what, 120, 130 points away from there. So not only we need a lot of fuel to push it beyond 200 points positive on a Monday, we also need a lot of fuel to keep uh, pushing it further,
Afloat.
because
Right.
as you know, last week we talked about some 48,000 crores FI exodus. This
Hmm.
week the number is close to 65, 66,000 crores,
Right.
एंड ये बढ़ता ही जा रहा है. तो मतलब मेरे हिसाब से नेक्स्ट वीक मंथ एंड है, अगर सेलिंग इंटेंसिफाई हुई या इवन इस रेट पे रही, तो
Hmm.
हम 75 से 80 हजार करोड़ का फिगर देख रहे हैं एंड ऑफ मंथ. तो
That's
अगर
painful.
ऐसा रहा तो then it will be extremely difficult for the Indian participants or the DIIs to actually kind of support. If you see the FI and DI figures over last 2 3 weeks, it every day it's in the line of FI selling 5,000 7,000 crores and DI buying 3 4 5,000 crores. At the end of the day, there will be a point where you know they will stop buying, because if it keeps going down, they will at the end of the day stop buying. वो कब तक वो भी सपोर्ट करेंगे ना. तो इट आई फील दैट be very careful in the coming week. If you don't get don't get thinking that a gap up opening might be a rally, might be sustainable. I still feel that if you are taking a long position, be very very prudent. Take your profits quickly and cut your position. अगर मंडे को गैप अप भी खुलता है बाय एनी चांस, डोंट लेट इट ट्रिक यू इनटू थिंकिंग कि अब गैप अप खुल गया है, 23,200 के ऊपर भी खुल गया है तो ये ऊपर रहेगा. ऊपर रहने के लिए बहुत बहुत ज्यादा फ्यूल चाहिए, एंड इट विल रिक्वायर अ लॉट ऑफ बाइंग, लॉट ऑफ अग्रेसिव बाइंग by the DIIs, or if the FIs shift into buying side, that changes the whole dynamics definitely.
Right.
But by the way of it, uh, last time it lasted about 6 weeks.
Hmm.
We are entering the 6th week now.
Right.
So yeah, so by the looks of it, and जिस तरह से ये वीक एंड हुआ है, मेरे को नहीं लगता कि अगले वीक दे आर गोइंग टू शिफ्ट और एनी टाइम सून दे आर गोइंग टू शिफ्ट. एंड ऑल्सो US being the aggressive policies that they have announced and the negative impact it's going to have on emerging markets. So I feel that the FIs all around the world will start viewing emerging markets in a very different light. So वो जो emerging market being a high return kind of thing, kind of economy to invest, I think this somehow to an extent makes emerging market rather tad bit unattractive. I cannot compare the returns in the east or emerging market to the returns in the west. There's still a big difference, but there is a huge difference in the risk involved also. Okay, and emerging markets becoming a tad bit unattractive versus a lower return on developed market or a western economy, there is a chance that money might flow into them, or even within emerging markets. Okay, we are now, people are not looking at China a lot because Donald Trump has announced sort of a trade war with China. So we are not looking at that. But how much will that uh, how much will China's loss be India's gain? We are yet to see that.
So basically, the kind of hope that you have generated for the Bulls for the coming week. One thing more I would like to add. This was actually running behind when you were talking about the way the week might pan out and all the supports that we have discussed. Weeks being trying to hit new highs or going taking its northward journey. Uh, Another painful thing that we will witness in the coming week is that it will be a very long day trading
Oh
session that we
yes.
will witness, and with so much of pain and volatility that we are seeing in single days, I wonder how the market participants and the traders and the investors should control their emotions and look at the way their portfolio is bleeding, if it's that long. So that's
I
icing on the cake.
I particularly feel that, of course, this is my personal opinion. I particularly feel that having a budget session
Hmm.
of the markets, it is just an especially in a volatile market where all traders are making loss. I think it's just adding on to the speculation. They should have just
Right.
maybe given a holiday, or just like a usual Saturday the markets would have been on. The market can always take into account everything on a Monday morning. Once at best it'll be a little bit of gap up or gap down. And I from the looks of it, we are not expecting any major announcement that will change the course of the market in a longer term. So we are only looking at a knee jerk reaction downside, or a little gap up, uh, as we take the impact of the budget, and then it will stabilize again. You will notice in about 2 days it will stabilize and form into a different another range only, and the volatility will continue, and all that will happen. There is no game changing announcement that is expected out of this budget, to my knowledge. But of course, you and me will see it on the first. And then we'll do a weekly roundup before that, and then we'll talk about budget in the next one.
चलिए, तो we have got all the cues, which for the Bulls again are not very encouraging. But let's see how it pans out to be like. And again, what you have told us that we have to follow a very cautious approach if we are trading on the long side, and it has to be very uh, stop losses need to be in place, because the kind of volatility that we are seeing these days, it can be scary if you have open position without stop losses in place.
VIX
uh,
almost hit 18. 17.5 or 17.6 was the VIX high of VIX this week.
right. So, chaliye, not that it was encouraging, but it is always good to know the reality. And it was amazing talking to you. And hopefully, we'll catch up next week in the weekly roundup and summarize as to how things have happened. Uh, I just pray and I just believe from within that this is the sixth week, and next week you might come up and give some good positive vibes to the Bulls. Till then, we can just wait. And as always, it was amazing talking to you. And
Likewise.
hope to see you next week again. Thank
Right.
you. Have a happy weekend.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy weekend to you all. Bye bye.